it is Tanya, and welcome back to the channel. Today I am back with another speed build, and we are doing an industrial loft. I've been really excited to do this for a couple of weeks now. I believe I got a suggestion to do a loft type build, and I love loft builds, and I love industrial style, and I really want to live in this home so badly, so I'm excited to be sharing this one with you guys. The inside, I think, is much more a star of the show for this one than the exterior. The exterior, I tried to give it more of a industrial look, but it's meant to just kind of look like a building in the city. And I know it's in Newcrest now, but we will be moving it over to San Myshuno, where the old salt house was, and it's a little bit too small for that lot, so we kind of split the lot in two, and the other half we made into a park that currently has a food truck festival going on. So that's kind of exciting, because I thought it made more sense in a more city environment, if that makes sense. So that's what we ended up doing with it, and it's just a one loft bedroom, one bathroom home, and it uses a lot of the color schemes I use a lot, which are like grays, whites, blacks, and browns, and I think it came out so cute. I hope you guys like it, but this is basically the basic shape. I'm adding this deck over to the side. We end up getting rid of that in the end, unfortunately, but it didn't make sense, and I needed the kitchen to go there, and so there wasn't room for a door to go out onto a deck. So we got rid of that in the end, but I think that's okay. I feel like a lot of times when I'm making things, I'm like, how do I make this side look more interesting? And you just keep adding things, but sometimes you got to take those things away too. Maybe you put a window in a place that's not going to work for where you're placing other stuff, and you can just kind of change it around as you see fit. We also added some piping on the outside because I thought that kind of helped with the industrial look, but we didn't add any on the inside. I didn't think we needed it. We filled up the space, I think, as much as it could be, and I didn't want it to feel too cluttered. It's definitely a small space, but I didn't want it to be overwhelming. So we kept the pipes to just the outside of the building. And we're just going to add a little bit of landscaping here. And I'm not exactly sure when we switch over to San Myshuno. I think I do quite a bit of the build here, but it's fully furnished in San Myshuno. And it also ends up having a little garage off to the side, which is really cute. And I had fun with that. And I think that's one of only the second time I've had a garage that was on separate foundation, which I really like because I usually do attached garages. Although there is a way to do those, different foundation heights attaching them. It's just a little wonky, and I think I'll probably do a build including that sometime soon because I think that's really good for family homes, and I do a lot of family homes, and I think there'll be a couple of those next week. I have a couple of collabs this week, and I have, I think, one next week and then one the week after, so lots of collabs coming up, and I'm excited to share those with you. A few 3 out of the 4 are winter themed, so that's exciting. I haven't done a whole lot of winter builds on the channel. I've done one so far, I think. I have more coming. We're getting closer to Christmas, and there's a couple of things I definitely want to build, so you should be seeing those in the next week or so. So yeah, that's exciting. We're going to be adding a door and window over here. I used a lot of the big modern windows in this build. I thought it let in a lot of light, and of course the glass roof as well brought in a lot of beautiful light up into the loft bedroom, and I thought that looked really cute. We also had this little flower pot, which I thought was perfect, and these interesting details. I believe they came with Get to Work. I think they look really cool, framing the windows out front, and they just add a little something. And here you can see we are in San Myshuno now, and I'm moving it over to the side of the lot, and I haven't gotten rid of that porch yet, but I will be getting rid of that porch. I was thinking about what to do here, though, because I considered duplicating it and making 2 of them. But then I was like, no, I don't want 2 of them. So we're going to make a little park. First, I'm going to make a little driveway over here for the car, and then a little fence separating off the area into the park area. And we're going to add a couple of trees around the place as well. I think overall it's a pretty cute house. I wish we had ended up being able to use that side deck. It just didn't make sense in the end with how the layout of the interior went, unfortunately. And I did think about making this a dog park, but then I was like, we're in the city, let's do some food trucks. I think that'll be a really fun thing. And I love food trucks. Food truck festivals are so much fun. I don't go to them that often, unfortunately. There's a lot around me, but I never go. I'm going to have to make a point of that this summer or spring. Have you guys been to food truck festivals? Do you find it fun? I'm not experimental with food. I'm very much a picky eater, forever a child at heart when it comes to food. But I do like getting foods I know I like from different places and trying their versions of them. And it's so good. So good. I love food trucks. I mean, they're horrible, but like they're great. So hopefully I can find some time to do that. But I thought it would be nice to have your Sims be able to do that. Of course, these are on their lot, so you'd have to hire all of them yourself, which kind of sucks, but it would be nice for storytelling purposes. And I think there's more food trucks here than you can hire. I believe I was hiring them all, and 1 or 2 of them I couldn't finish hiring because, you know, it was like, that's the most you can have. And I was like, oh, I'm sorry. But here we are trying to lay out the inside. We do end up putting the kitchen here in the back. It's just a little bit different than this because right now we're still trying to make that door work onto the patio, but we end up getting rid of that door in the end because it's just not working. It wasn't necessary, so we're just moving around these counters. I didn't want it to have that little piece that connects to the wall, so we had to move the counters out from the wall a little bit to go ahead and get them to connect in this way that was a little bit more like sleek. And we also added a half wall framing these to kind of anchor them in place. And we have a little sink over on that side as well, and then an island. But we don't put any chairs at the island. I just wanted it for extra cutting space, and you can always add chairs if you want, but we end up having a table and chairs anyway. There's a decent amount of seating here for a 1-bedroom loft, but I think you could probably entertain here pretty easily. So that is what the thought process for that was. I like doing homes that, like, I don't always do family homes, but I do them a lot, and I like to occasionally mix it up and do something like this. And thank you guys in the past for all of your suggestions. I know I've asked for a lot of suggestions lately. This one is from a couple of weeks ago, though. I do want more suggestions, though. I feel like every time I ask for suggestions, people are like, build this fancy mansion or build this hotel plaza. And I'm like, okay, I don't really have time to do that unless that's the only video that comes out this week. Although those are things I would like to do at some point. Although I did do $1 million mansion, like family home mansion thing last week. So, you know, but that took a few weeks to do. But any smaller build ideas you guys would like to see, types of family homes. And if you're like suggesting something I haven't done before, if you can give me reference pictures, especially if it's like from a certain place, that would be fantastic. Like if you're suggesting on Twitter, because sometimes people will suggest something from somewhere and I don't know what they're talking about and I Google it and I just get more confused. And I'm like, okay, yeah, thanks for the suggestion. I really appreciate it. But like, I do want to build some more like different things and some more diverse builds and stuff like that. But if I don't know what you're talking about and I can't find it, I can't really build it, unfortunately. But anyway, we're just adding some clutter under the steps. We do add some storage over here. I imagine all of this was storage space, which I quite like. I like putting storage spaces under steps anyway. I think it's just a really nice way to keep your stuff out of the way, but not look bad. It's just like empty space. It'd be wasted space if you didn't put storage under there. And then we're adding these couches, which are some of my favorites. I use them so often, but I felt like they fit perfectly for this style. A bookcase in the corner, and then we have a little trunk here that we put our TV on. It's a pretty cramped little living space, but it works out pretty well, I think, in the end. And we add some ottomans over in the window, those ones with the books in the bottom, which I think are really, really cute. And then we have like a couple more things by the door. We'll add a couple more paintings here and there, and that'll be most of what the downstairs is. There's nothing too crazy down here. We add a little painting here with a shelf, although right now it's a mirror, but we will be changing that. And of course, this beautiful lamp. I absolutely love that lamp, and plants everywhere because I can't help myself, and there has to be plants in every nook and cranny of every place I build. And then there's a nice little mirror with shoes on your way out, so you can, you know, check what you look like before you step out the door. This is that painting I was talking about, and we go ahead and put a little flower in front of it, and then these plants from Seasons over here. I thought they fit very, very well with the style of this build. And you can see that I had removed that deck, and I'm just adding some decorative like pillars over on the side using some walls and half walls, and I put windows through them too to just kind of make it look a little bit more like a sculptural element of the building, and of course some columns on the sides to kind of frame them as well. So I just think that helped a little bit when making the side of the house less like a flat, boring wall. So that's what that ended up being. And we are adding the little garage here. Now we'll be decorating it towards the end of this build because I wasn't sure if I was going to fill it with anything or if I was going to leave that open to interpretation. If you guys downloaded the build, You could fill it with whatever you wanted, because there's so many different things you can put in garages. Like, it could be another bedroom, it could be a studio of some sort, it could just be a garage full of junk, it could be where the laundry is. Like, so many things you could put in a studio, or a garage. So I thought about leaving that open, but I filled it up in the end after I did the bedroom. But this is the bathroom. I used all of the industrial bathroom furniture that we got with Seasons. Of course, that fit perfectly, and it's some of my favorite because I love the industrial style so much. And we're just adding a plant and a little bathrobe in here, and just a couple little accessories, some toothbrushes and some soap, just to make it look a little bit more lived in and make sense. I also really enjoyed using this door on this bathroom. I don't use that door very often, so that was kind of nice. And I think that's it for the bathroom. Oh no, we add these shelves and put a bunch of clutter on them too, which I thought was really, really cute. I really like doing stuff like that. It just makes the place look so much more lived in, and I really, really appreciate it. I don't know if you guys like little details like that, but I know I do. And then this is the loft bedroom. I wanted to use this bed at first, but I ended up getting rid of it and using the one from Seasons because I thought it fit a little bit better with what I was thinking. So we ended up using this one, I believe, in the black color, and then some white, and those like whitish, creamish patterned curtains from City Living. Those beautiful industrial lamps I used downstairs. And then we have a closet, a dresser, and we have a guitar up here, which inspired what's in the garage, if you can take that hint. So we ended up having the garage be like a music studio, which I thought was really, really cool. And we just have the mirror and the shoes up here. We have this little dresser from Seasons, which is so pretty. I just love it so much. And then we added a bookcase that's kind of like merged with the dresser, which I thought looked kind of cool. I like doing stuff like that sometimes. And yeah, that's just kind of what that looks like. We added not too much clutter up here. We added an ottoman at the end of the bed. I think that one's from laundry day, and I thought that looked nice. And then some paintings we're going to add going on up the steps, because I really like that look, and this wall looked way too blank for how tall these walls are. So just added that. We're going to add some little blinds, decide we don't like them, and then we should be moving on to the garage momentarily to fill that up with some music stuff. But of course we got to add another table over to the food truck festival. But you can see the first thing I grabbed, I believe, is a DJ booth. I want to put that in here, and so we have that. We have like the music mixing station we got with Get Famous. We have a keyboard, we have a guitar. Like, we have a lot of music stuff in here. I believe, yeah, we added the dance floor. I don't think it's functional because there's so many things on it, and I end up adding a rug on top of it as well. So it's probably not functional, but everything else should be. And I have a bookcase, I have a place to sit down. Like, it's a cozy, like, this is where we make music space. And I think this is probably a big selling point for the person that bought this loft. Anyway, we are coming to the end of the video. I hope you guys did enjoy this video. If you did, please give it a big thumbs up. And if you're new here, you can also click subscribe. I would love to have you along. And if you click that little bell next to the subscribe button, it'll turn on notifications so you'll be notified of every single time I upload a new video. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you all soon. Bye, everybody.